Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willowbound Journals, and today I'm taking you through a bookshop, and this one is called Belgrave Book Barn, and I went there while I was in Melbourne earlier this year when I visited my family, and this is one of my favourite bookshops. And sorry about the lighting, it's a little bit weird there, flickering, but yeah, they've got a big range of books. These are some gorgeous floral illustrated books. These would be perfect for making floral journals out of. But yeah, I'd only ever get these for journals if I found them in an op shop to be able to thrift. But yeah, some of them were really, really stunning with some gorgeous illustrations. I did buy one book from this shop, and this was the book, The Diary of Frida Kahlo. So this had been on my wish list for a while. Just love the artwork. So it's basically her diary that has been published. And as a journaler, I love that. And all throughout my life, I've always really enjoyed seeing people's journals and diaries and letters. And when I see a book comprised of people's journal entries, I've always been drawn to those. I find them very interesting, very engaging, and I basically have my own little library collection of books that are of people's journals, basically. So I've got Spilling Open by Sabrina Ward Harrison. In fact, I've got quite a few books from Sabrina Ward Harrison. She is who I took the bookmaking course with to make my book, Lamp in Dark Places. And yeah, I have gotten a few other books from other people who have taken her course as well. And the course is called Liberate. She doesn't run it anymore, so I'm very, very fortunate that I was able to take that course when I did, because 2 years later, she stopped running the course. So I'm very, very thankful, and got so much out of that course. And the very first book, I think, that I really loved in that sort of scrapbook, diary, journal style was called Anastasia's Album. And it was about this, the royal Tsar family in Russia. And just the way that's laid out, it has beautiful photography and like her drawings, Anastasia's drawings and letters, and it's just stunning. And I came across that book when I was very young. Well, not very young, but when I was in primary school. And I just, fell in love with that book and loved flipping through the pages and seeing how they combined photos with ephemera, with documents, and with writing and a story and a narrative. And that's always been a book style I've been drawn to. So all to say that I was glad to get the Diary of Frida Kahlo finally. And I read the introduction first, because the actual diary I believe is in Spanish, so I can't actually read it, but I can definitely just still enjoy the beautiful art, the creativity, the pages, the expression. And then at the back of the book it has the translation in English and a bit of like an explanation, I suppose, about the entries. So I think that's so very, very cool. I'm just looking around at the different books, walking along the aisles, looking at books that I have already read, or looking at books that I have heard about and wanted to read or thought might be interesting. That one has a beautiful cover, and I'd be interested in reading that one actually, because I read Piranesi by Susanna Clarke this year, and it was at the end of last year. It was in December when I read that book, and no, scrap that. I bought it in December, but I didn't read it until this year. It was one of the first books that I read. And I really enjoyed it. Very imaginative, so I feel like I want to read other books by Susanna Clarke. Here are some classics, And I read a whole bunch of classics this year for book bingo. So I'm part of a local book club. And earlier this year, we did a book bingo with different categories. And I was able to tick off quite a few classics that were on my reading list because I wouldn't actually read these normally. I find classics quite hard to read. Milk and Honey. That was another book I got while I was in Melbourne, but I got the 10th anniversary edition at a different bookshop. And I believe I shared a vlog video of that bookshop earlier on my channel. Just went back to the wildflower books because look at these. These would be stunning pages in a journal. Oh my goodness. If only I could find that in a thrift shop. I read a lot of classics for book bingo because book bingo, I was saying that you needed to tick off certain categories and the classics fit those categories. So I thought this was a great opportunity to read books that I wouldn't normally read. And it was great. It expanded my mind. I read Frankenstein and War of the Worlds and Fahrenheit, is it 941? And I read, let's see, what else did I read? I've got a list of all the books that I read. The Time Machine and The Great Gatsby, Animal Farm. Yeah, so there's still a lot of classics that I would like to get round to, but now we're doing book bingo in October as well. So I have been reading some classics for that as well. And I will definitely do an update about that book bingo later on my channel. I love those wasp jig puzzles. They're my favourite jigsaw puzzles to do. Whenever I go to Melbourne, I often do a wasp jig puzzle or few because I can actually do those. You could do those in a day. So if I get on a roll, I finish those really quickly. Green Lights. This is a book I would be happy to own. A memoir. I really enjoyed this book. I got a lot out of it. I got a lot of insights and lessons from it. So I would definitely be happy to purchase that. So maybe again, when I'm ready to reread that, I'll go ahead and purchase that. The Season by Helen Garner. I read that for book bingo in February and that was really good. I one day want to write a book about faith and football because I love my footy and football teaches me so much about faith. And I have been doing a lot of research for that book this year. I've been watching a lot of footy games and taking notes, and I love it because as I take notes, I'm learning things that I can apply to my own life, and it helps me to know God better and understand the Bible better through seeing it in practice, some of the principles. Finding another book by Rupi Kaur, I'd be interested in that one actually. It's more like a workbook, so maybe one day I will give that one a try. But I have so many books that are on my reading list. I've read The Letland Theory. That was a book I read for book bingo this month, but I got the audiobook and it was really good. It felt like I was listening to a podcast because Mel Robbins is very easy to listen to, very conversational. Man's Search for Meaning, I actually own that book, very good book. Atlas of the Heart, I own that one too. Yes, I'm a big book reader. I haven't finished Atlas of the Heart yet, so I definitely want to finish that. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse, love that book. I have got a copy that I actually use as a journal, so I can read it, but I also have written on the pages. A Short History of Nearly Everything, that's one of my favourite books by Bill Bryson. He's one of my favourite authors. So it's really fun actually going through bookshops and finding out that, I actually have read quite a lot of these books, and there's quite a lot here that I still want to read. I really want to read Mythos by Stephen Fry. One day I might be able to purchase that as well because it's not at the library. I try to read things at the library first or thrift books. I try not to buy too many books. I did have a book buying ban for a lot of years, but just in recent years I have lifted that ban, but I still try to be pretty frugal. I'm just going to loop this video because I still have more to say. Oh my goodness, I can talk about books all day. I absolutely love books, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, a bit different for my channel, but I really hope to film more videos of bookshops. Books is one of those things that gives me so much joy. I am forever grateful for books, and I've always been a book reader since I was a little kid. I would spend days just from the moment I got up to the moment I went to bed reading. I would devour books. And I love reading, like now, still to this day, I absolutely love reading. And yeah, I can't wait to talk even more about books, and it's a bit of a dream of mine just to visit as many bookshops as possible. I used to, that's what I was going to say, in the past, before my book buying ban, I would buy a book anytime I visited a bookshop. And when I was in Melbourne, I would literally go like every week to a bookshop. So I was buying a book every single week. And so when I moved house and moved state, I pretty much got rid of, 90% of my books. I only kept the ones that I absolutely loved, the ones that I would reread, and I put myself on a book buying ban. So it's only been in the last few years that I released myself from that ban. But yeah, like I said, I'm still way more frugal than I was back in Melbourne when I was buying a book a week. So yeah, now I read books at the library or from the library, which is great. And I thrift books too. So often you can find books for anything from 50 cents to $2, maybe $4. Sometimes you get them for 20 cents. Sometimes you get them for free. So that's what I usually do. Unless it's a book that I can't find anywhere and I really want it, then I will buy it. And then I will keep it if I loved it. But if not, I will donate it back to the op shop or give it to a friend who I think will like it. This is a book that I really, really enjoyed. I read it for Book Bingo in February, and that is one that I would be happy to own. I would definitely reread that again. That gave me a lot of insights and lessons. So that was lovely. This book I really enjoyed as well. I would probably reread that as well. And yeah, it was just so great. I love looking around. This one, oh my gosh, this is one of my all-time favorite books. I read this last year and I definitely want to read it again. I can't speak highly enough of Anxious People. Very much recommend that book. All right, I'm going to leave it there because I could, like I said, talk forever. Oh, Babel. I love Babel too. So great. I love books. Love books. Let me know if you love books too. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. A big special thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in the month of September. If you would like to become a patron, the link is down below in the description box, and I can add your name to this list. My Patreon is where you get access to all my extra videos, including the monthly journal making series. Plus, if you're a Ruby or higher, you get access to every single digital kit in my Etsy that is available to download right over on my Patreon. Plus, exclusive patron-only kits. And at the higher tiers, you get access to extra perks, including mail sent to you, whether it is a Happy Mail, ephemera pack, paper pack, or a journal.